The amazing thing about a dream flight, when you take a pilot, when you take that nostalgic airplane, open cockpit, and you take a veteran, senior veteran who's in their 90s, and you put it together, magic happens. Because the senior veteran, they think in their mind, they still desire to fly. They just don't think it's possible. We come along and we show them the possibilities. And we get to help them actualize that dream. Hi, I'm Darryl Fisher, president of Dream Flights, founder and one of our pilots. The Dream Flight journey really started in 1946 when my grandfather bought this very airplane. I am very fortunate to come from a family of pilots. My grandfather and grandmother were both pilots. My father took his very first biplane flight in this airplane. Both of my uncles were pilots. And I began my flying journey in 1982. Fast forward, I'm in the senior living business. And in the senior living business, we had a program we called Ageless Dreams. And the idea was to, just because somebody gets old, they don't lose their wants and their desires and their dreams. Age has nothing to do with that. So our deal with the company is that, hey, we try to get our leaders to pick a senior who had a dream, something they did a long time ago and wanted to do again, or something they'd never done and wanted to do, and then make it happen. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's just an amazing program. I kind of hatched this plan and didn't tell my dad about it. So I ran communities in 38 states. So I knew a lot of people around the country. So I picked some that I knew, and I called the administrators and I said, hey, I got this crazy idea. I'd send them some pictures. I said, I'd love to come fly one or two of your veterans. And once they got over the shock of it and I kind of walked them through it, they said, that'd be a pretty cool idea. That would be pretty awesome. So our first dream flight was scheduled in Oxford, Mississippi, March 29, 2011. Now, about a week before we left for that trip, I called Dad and I said, look, what do you think about this plan? What do you think if we take some veterans? What do you think if we do this? And he goes, well, that'd be fantastic. He said, I think that's an amazing idea. I said, there's just one little problem. We're gonna burn a bunch of extra gas and I'm broke and you're gonna have to pay for it. So you're gonna have to let me use your brand new airplane and you're gonna have to pay for it. And he says, don't worry about it. We go to Pete's, we get the airplane, we're late, we get over to Oxford, I fly over the runway, I look down and there's 30 people milling around. There's a van, there's, what turns out there's newspapers there. And when we shut the engine down, they start clapping. We got introduced to Hugh Newton. He was a World War II veteran. He was just loving it, there's lots of people there, his wife was there. So I give Hugh a flight. It was successful. He was just all smiles and emotionally charged up. And so when I got him out, I was kind of standing there by the airplane and his wife came up to me and she put her hand on my shoulder and she says, you have no idea what you've just done for my husband. And Dad and I were Dad in particular was just loving it. He was talking to people, he was telling stories about the airplane, it was just phenomenal. So we go to the hotel that night, and we kind of look at each other and we go, holy smokes. I mean, something magical just happened. You know, neither one of us had ever experienced anything like that. And so I get up the next morning, I look, you know, they used to put newspapers on the hotel rooms, you know, in front of your door, and there's a newspaper laying there, and I look down and it's got a picture of Hugh flying in the biplane right on the front page. And it's like, man, it doesn't get any better than that. While it was a wonderful experience, I thought, well, maybe that was just a weird phenomena, right? Maybe that's just the way it's gonna be, and just this one time. And so we went over to Jasper, Alabama, which was our next stop. We met Lloyd Lathan, and Lloyd was another World War II veteran. And Lloyd had worked post-war in a grocery store in Jasper, and he, for 45 years, he knew everybody. So, as it turned out, Lloyd's entire living family came to his flight. Everybody in his family that was alive that he was related to was his flight. Now, there was only 4 people, but that's what it was down to. And they were so interested that they came out, all of them came out. Again, the newspaper was there, and we had some weather issues, delays, so we had to stay an extra day or two, but we eventually got his flight in, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. And his family loved it, and we got pictures, and it was in the newspaper and everything. So again, another magical experience, you know, so now we're 2 for 2. We changed our plans and we worked our way back. We spent 2 weeks and we gave 25 flights on our way back. And so when I got home, my wife, who had been hearing the stories and seeing the newspaper things, she said, you know, we got to keep doing this. Why would you stop? Thank you for watching our very first episode of the Dreamflight's journey. So be sure to go on, click subscribe and the bell so you receive notification. If you have a question about Dreamflights or want to tell us about a veteran hero in your life, comment below and we will respond in future videos.